Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is B-RAD the man, and welcome back to another video. Now, a while ago, I asked my friend Joltz, another YouTuber here, to rank my tier list of zombie maps from the worst to best, and he was going to make a video of it eventually and do ranking on that. Now, I want to point out that this list that I gave him were quite a while ago. Let's say they were done on April 20th. 420 blaze it, baby. But anyway, so they were a little bit different from what I currently have, but they weren't entirely too far off, I should say. But anyway, this was a video or list that I did a long time ago, but it didn't include everything that I currently have. But this is still this is a list of the maps that I like to play, which is this list. And then I did another list of the objective outlook, which is pretty well different. For example, I had Origins in B originally, and now it's in S tier. But that was the original ranking I had. Now, a while ago, I actually did do another video with new rankings, and this was supposed to include all the games, but again, I haven't played all the games. But this was the new list. This one is my personal maps I like to play, which is not too far off, again, from what it was before. But yeah, still kind of the same there. But again, this was my personal list, just kind of what I would like to play the most. And then I did have another one of objective outputs, which is actually still a lot different from the other one, even from my old list on April, because I actually put Shadows at number 1 objectively, and I still think that to be true. That's essentially what my ranking is as of right now. But a couple days ago, I did see that Joltz did react to this list. I think he just did this one. I think he just did my personal one, which is probably going to get me a little bit burned. Although I did say, here is my objective outlook. But I know he did this one. So I figured, hey, let's have a little fun with it. Let's see exactly where Joltz has my list. I'm very interested to see what he thinks. I know this is going to be a very different video, but I want to see what he's got for me. Let's do this. I want to see what he's got for me.
Back to another video on the channel, guys. In this video, we are reacting to my subscribers tier list again. Now, if you guys don't remember, a couple months ago, I made a video where I reacted to my subscribers tier list, and you guys really enjoyed the video, and I got a couple more tier lists that I'm going to react to in this video.
How do you get a Stormbow in round one?
Okay, so this is Joltz from the future, and I just want to say that I will be reacting to only one tier list in this video. I recorded me reacting to 3 tier lists, but I found out while editing that I rambled so much that if I put all 3 tier lists in this video would be like 45 minutes long, so I'm going to save the other 2 tier lists that I reacted to for a video in the future. If you guys want to be featured in this series,
Okay, so I'm wondering if he did object or did look at my other one. If that's the case, I don't know what the other list is, but if this video is 13 minutes long, if he gave his opinion on the other 2 and one of them was my own, I don't have any good hopes on this. I think he might be angry. I don't think he's going to be happy about it at all. I know why he's not going to be happy, because I know I have one of his least favorite maps pretty high up. But
Alright, so the first tier list we have is from B-RAD the man. We have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and trash tier. I see something right away that I don't agree with. Voyage of Despair and trash? No, come on. It deserves S tier. We all know that. I mean, like, the map is perfect. What can I say? In all seriousness, though, I do not agree with Voyage being in trash. I do think the map is underrated. I would not put it in S tier. I would probably put it in B tier.
Okay, I thought for a second there he was going to be legit about that. Like, Voyage of Despair is not an S tier. Now, I did point out that, objectively, I think it is a C tier map, in my other ranking video. But I don't think Voyage is B tier. The design of it is just so all over the place. Like I said, when you go through like the multiple levels of the ship, they all start to kind of run the same. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of Voyage. Also, the Kraken is a fun weapon, but it's not a great weapon. You're running the Hillian the entire time. The boss fight, though, I will give the boss fight a lot of credit. The boss fight is really, really good. So, yeah, was I a little harsh on it originally? Yes, but like I said, for my personal view of it, I don't think I'd rather play. I don't want to play Voyage that much. So that's why I have it in this list. I have it in trash. But objectively, I would say it's C. B tier, I'll give you that, but not really, not B tier.
If not, maybe low A tier, but trash tier for Voyage.
No.
I don't agree with that, B-RAD. And the other two maps in trash, we have Transit and Die Rise. Those are respectable. I can totally understand why you put these maps in here. Again, just Voyage, come on. This map is a gem.
Okay,
D tier,
that's not bad.
Zetsubo no Shima. Wow, okay. Dead of the Night and Shinonuma. These two are really surprising to me, especially Zetsubo. Like I said,
Again, I also pointed out in my other video, I don't like Zetsubo because the setup process is a pain in the ass, and the KT4 is a fun weapon, again, but not one that I think is that powerful. Granted, I played Zetsubo a handful of times, but again, I'm being a little too critical on this, but again, this is my personal what I'm going to play list, not the one that I'm going to say these maps are amazing, because I obviously don't think Blood is the best, one of the best maps ever. And kind of the same with Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night's kind of the same too. The layout of Dead of the Night is really good, but the Nosferatu's piss me off that much that I do not want to play that map. Nosferatu's, you get rid of them. I'd probably put that in B tier. Also, the quest to get the Wonder Weapon. I do not like the trying to find all the parts to it. No, and I know there's a way to get it for free out of the free Wonder Weapon, but the upgrade process is also a pain in the ass. So that's why I put it in D.
I think Zetsubo is a hidden gem, but if you don't like it, I can kind of see why. Personally, I do think Zetsubo belongs in S tier, but if you have bad experiences with the map, like on launch or something, I can kind of see why you wouldn't like Zetsubo, but other than that, I think Zetsubo's a great map. Same with Dead of the Night. I think Dead of the Night is extremely underrated. And Shinonuma, I would put Shinonuma in trash. I think Shinonuma sucks. C tier, we have Revelations.
Okay, I see, that's fair. I'm okay with that. Like I said, the other two maps are not bad maps. I just don't want to play them as much. Shinonuma, on the other hand, I will agree with him that I could easily put that in trash. It's not one that I'm going to hop into right away. If you're playing the World at War version, obviously, but you don't want to spend your entire lifetime getting around 10,000. No one wants to do that. And then the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 are just kind of boring. Not a huge fan.
Shangri-La, Nocturne Toten, Nuketown Zombies, and 5. This is a very respectable tier right here. I would definitely move Knockdown to D tier or trash, but other than that, I can totally see why you would put all these maps where you put them. Okay, B-RAD, we gotta have a talk.
Okay, I know where he's gonna go in a second here, but I want to hop into the C tier first. I don't agree that Nocturne Toten should be in the D or F tier. Nocturne Toten, I kind of agree with Mr. T. Lexify on this. You can't put it lower than a C. You just can't. There's just too much that it's the cornerstone of zombies as we know it. Like I said, I would not put it any lower than a C. And also, you can have some fun high rounds on Nocturne Toten. I know you're basically just camping the entire time, but honestly, even the World at War version, just running around with the flamethrower, pretty fun.
There's one major problem with this tier list, and you know what it is. This right here.
Yep.
Why? Oh, I forgot I can't do that again. Why? Just why? Why is it in B tier? Please let me know down below in the comments what you guys see in Tagged or Toten, because I think this is an abomination of a zombies map. It is a joke of a map, and there's nothing fun to do in the map. Like, yeah, there's nothing fun to do in what's the new map? Mauer der Toten, but at least it's playable. This breaks every time you play it. There's so many glitches and exploits on this map, which there shouldn't be because there's nothing extremely innovative. Like, for example, whenever Shadows of Evil first came out, there was a bunch of God mode glitches that you could do with beast mode and infinite beast mode glitches. I can understand those because that's a brand new mechanic implemented into the game. So I can see how they didn't get to fully test it before they put Shadows of Evil out. This, on the other hand, there's nothing new besides snowballs. And snowballs are actually working half the time. There's napalm zombies, there's horrible wonder weapons, there's Victus being the absolute worst they have ever been. Yes, even worse than I think they're...
Okay, I'm actually going to hop in before he continues on with that. Like I said, I know Joltz. I know how much he loathes Togder Toten. Like, he despises Togder Toten. I can see why someone would hate Togder Toten. But there are still some good things in the map. Yes, the Thunder Gun is one very almost impossible to get in the game. But it's still the Thunder Gun. It's still pretty fun. The Thunder Gun with PhD, honestly, pretty solid weapon. I mean, it's not a strong weapon. It's not the Apothecary Servant, but it's not bad. I'll give you the Wonder Waff, or whatever the hell the Sniper Waffle thingy is. That one sucks. I'll give you that one. That one's terrible. But it does have a beautiful layout. It does have a beautiful piece of scenery. We couldn't see anything in Call of the Dead because of the fog and the snow and everything. But at least with Tog, you can see, like, it's gorgeous looking in the background. And the other places they added, kind of nice. Like, the spawn room itself, at least you can survive in that. I mean, it sucks if you miss one of the icebergs and then also you get bombarded with zombies. But you can still survive in the spawn room. You can survive in pretty much most of the spots. Like, the survivability on that is actually pretty good. And there was something else. The snowballs. No, you're going to be running Wraithfires. But the snowballs, at least you can get rid of them and then get your Wraithfires back. It's not like on Blood, when you get the Hell's Retriever and then you lose your Wraithfire. At least you can get the Hell's Retriever, or you can get the Wraithfire back when you get rid of the snowballs. Yes, they're not great, but at least it's a different thing. And I will say that having Victus on this map, yes, Victus still sucks, but at least they had a little bit more, like, there's just something about him in this map that made him like him a little bit more. They're not the cuddliest group or whatever, but I would rather play Victus in this map than I would in any of the other maps. Victus in Transit, shit. Victus in Die Rise makes me want to just shove a pen down my throat. Victus in Buried, whatever. But at least Victus in this one, like, they kind of update themselves and make themselves better. Should it be higher than this? No, but I think I even had, hold on, hang on one second here. Okay, yeah, so this was my personal ranking of the new video, and I had Tog. I still had Tog pretty high, but I actually did change it to put, I put Moon in B tier? I thought I put that in A tier. No, that's about fair. But no, I still had it pretty high, and I had just above Mauer. I could honestly have flip-flopped it either way. But yeah, Tog is, to me, more fun to play than the majority of these other maps. I would if you ask me right now to hop into BO4, obviously it's going to be 9, Ancient Evil or Blood of the Dead, but Tog would be my 4th. And I say that absolutely sincerely. I think Tog is just better than the other ones. I can definitely see why someone would not like Togder Toten.
Twice as bad as they are in Transit. The final map in the Ether storyline doesn't have a boss fight. It's just Onslaught on Tagder Toten. You know what? Let me save some of my hatred for Tagder Toten, just in case somebody has the audacity to put it in S or A tier. Because then I'm gonna have a major problem with you. Yes, I'm talking to you directly. If you put Tagder Toten in S tier or A tier, we're gonna have a problem. That aside...
Okay, I did not do that. That I did not do. But I am frightened for that guy. I am terrified for that guy.
We have Classified, Verrucht, Alpha Omega, Kino, Garad, Buried, D Machina, Firebase Z, and Origins. Now, I know B-RAD isn't the biggest fan of Origins, so I'm gonna cut him some slack on that. I think that the Cold War maps do not belong in B tier. I think they belong in C and D tier, especially Firebase Z. Firebase Z is so bland and boring. At least D Machina is fun, and you can have a blast while you're killing zombies in Dark Ether. There's nothing like that on Firebase Z. There's no Dark Ether and the Dark Ether storyline on this map. I mean, sure, you have the bunny Easter egg, which, by the way, it's supposed to be outside in the Dark Ether, but if you look up and shoot, you can actually see the ceiling, which is a major problem I have with it. I don't know why, it just really irks me. Classified, I can...
Okay, that I don't know too much about, but yeah, I only played D Machine and Firebase because they're easy. Like, they're easy maps to get high rounds in. Those are the only reasons that I would probably hop into those more than I would Origins or any of these other maps. That's the only reason I put it in B tier, is just because I can hop into them and not worry too much. Even on my personal list, I think I had, yeah, in my new list I had Firebase C in average. I had that in C tier. I think D Machine is still a B tier map, but I think Firebase C, if the Ray K hadn't gotten nerfed like 100,000 times, if that would stop getting nerfed, then I would probably put it back in B tier. But like I said, the only reason I put those in B tier originally is just because they're easy high rounds and I don't have to worry too much about really dying. Other than less the fact that I get absolutely glitched out and I can't see anything. Look at me. I'm hovering in the fucking sky. I can't see my perks. Oh, there's that thing. That's cool. I just it pains me, man. It pains me so much.
I can totally see. I think B tier is fine. Not where I would put it, but I can totally understand why you would put Classified in B tier. Verrucht, same thing. I think Verrucht's a fantastic map. I wouldn't say it's better than Doris, but it's definitely the second best Water War map. Alpha Omega in B tier, that's fine. Kino, massively overrated, but I'll let it slide. Garad, I actually agree with this one. I think Garad is a good map. Like,
there you go.
Okay, hold on. Let me say this. If you guys have known me for a long time, you guys know that I used to not like Garad Crovey. I used to think it was a horrible map, and I thought it was one of the worst maps ever made. And to an extent, it was at the time. But now, Garad Crovey is like Shadows of Evil compared to D Machina or Firebase Z or Tag der Toten or Mauer der Toten or basically anything they have released since Tag der Toten.
I agree with him on Garad. Like, initially, not a whole lot of fun to play, and I'm still kind of whatever with it. I appreciate that the wonder weapon is at least somewhat easier to obtain, but if you don't know where you're going, like me half the time, you are not going to have a fun time.
But regardless, finally, the final map in B tier you have is Buried. Once again, I can understand why you would have it in B tier. I'm not the biggest fan of Buried, but it has a lot of fun things to do on the map. A tier. What? Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, what? Joltz, don't you be doing that to me. Don't you be doing that to me.
Sorry. Let's try this again. I'm gonna try and say this without laughing. Okay. For A tier. I can't. I can't say this without laughing. A tier. Blood of the Dead in A tier.
You son of a bitch.
What? I mean, I like Blood of the Dead, but I don't know why. Just something about Blood of the Dead being an A tier is making me laugh. Nothing against you, B-RAD, but just, wow. That's all I can say. Like, I'm speechless right now. I didn't think anybody besides, of course, the man with the worst opinions on the face of this earth, Fat Matt, thought that Blood of the Dead deserved A tier or S tier. Other than...
Excuse me? Excuse me, Joltz? Are we gonna have to do this? Are we gonna have to do this? Oh, we gonna be dissing my boy Blood like that. I I'm okay with a lot of people dissing Blood of the Dead. Like, I will agree with you that the Easter egg is ass. I will agree with you that you'll never ever go to Spawn most of the time. I will agree with you the Hell's Dream theme request makes me want to puke. I will agree I missed the bridge. But Blood of the Dead's still a fun map. If you like Mob of the Dead, Blood of the Dead is another good map. You still have the majority of have everything there. You still have the showers. You still have the docks. You still have the cell blocks. You still have the cafeteria. You still have the roof. I will also agree with you. Moving Pack Punch. Not a fan. I'm okay with you. I'm okay. Everything I just said with people not liking those certain parts, I agree with you. Those things are trash. I will 100% agree with you. But when you have the Blade Trap in New Industries, and you have the Magmagat, and you still have really good camping spots, and you have the Ragnaroks, and you have all these other things to get you to high rounds, Blood of the Dead can be fun. You're not sitting there with an overpowered weapon like the Apothecary Serpent, or the Thunder Gun, or the Wave Gun, or the bows. You have something that's a little bit different and makes the map fun. It makes the map a lot more fun. Like I said, you got training spots. You got camping spots. There's a lot of things to do in Blood of the Dead, and I don't understand why people would hate. I understand people not like putting it in like B tier or C tier, even D tier, but to put Blood of the Dead anything lower, it irks me every time, and I don't know why. Like I said, I love Blood of the Dead, and I love Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead's my favorite map ever. I will say, though, the engine on BO2 does not hold up well. Does not hold up well. The engine on BO4, I don't see a problem with it. Like I said, it's not better than BO3, but I don't see any problem with it. People hold Black Ops 2 up way too high, and they put Blood 2, but they put Black Ops 4 basically in the cellar because apparently something's wrong with the engine. No, you don't like it because of the crashes that you experienced on day one. Newsflash, you couldn't get far on Shadows of Evil on day one either, and people thought it was terrible. You made it through the Giant because that one didn't have a whole bunch of shit, but had people now say the Giant is meh, and people say Shadows is amazing now that they actually fixed their shit. The same thing with Blood of the Dead. You're not mad at the map. You're mad at the way that it was handled on launch. And again, I don't see why people dislike the engine. I think the movement is a lot better on BO4, or pretty damn good. I'm not going to say better than BO3. BO3 is the goat of like having a good movement system, but there's nothing wrong with it. I need some Coke.
Then Blood of the Dead, we have Ancient Evil, Shadows of Evil, Call of the Dead, and Moon. Okay, it's a great tier besides this. Which, even then, I do think you could make a case for this, but it's just something that I never thought I would see on anybody's tier list. Like, I do think Blood of the Dead is massively underrated. I think it gets way too much hate for what the map deserves, but I do think that this map has its problems, and I would not say it belongs in A tier. For S tier,
again, I agree. Like I said, it has problems, but like I said, there's still a lot there that you can enjoy playing on that map. Fat Matt's right, it's an A tier map.
Mob of the Dead, Der Eisendrache, Ascension? What the fuck are you doing up here? What?
You son of a bitch.
B-RAD, hold on. Hold on. So you mean to tell me that you think that Ascension is better than Shadows of Evil?
On a personal level, yes. On a map that I'm going to play on higher rounds, yes. Shadows of Evil's pack-a-punch system, the way that you have to go about it is cool and unique. I ain't got time for it. Shadows of Evil, trying to get everything there. You can't even get around the Wonder Weapon until, like, round 30 because most of the time you can't get the damn parts for the parasites. Is Ascension's mystery box luck horrible in trying to get the Thunder Gun? Yes. But I would much rather be able to play Ascension because you at least have different other unique ways of getting to high rounds than that. You don't get this if you don't get the sword right away, or you don't get the Apothecary Servant right away, you're screwed with the Margwas by round 15. Especially if you don't know how to play and how to get Pack-a-Punch. I'm learning. I'm getting better with it. I'm not going to play high rounds on Shadows of Evil, though, because I can't get the damn Apothecary Servant until like round 25. I can get the Wonder Weapon on Ascension a hell of a lot earlier than round 25. And on BO3, I don't even need the Thunder Gun. I just need the RK5 and Deadwire. But on BO1, I can hop into BO1 Ascension. You got PhD. You got Mustang and Sally. You got the Ray Gun. You got a lot of other good things in there. High rounds on Ascension are fun. High rounds on Shadows of Evil, only fun when you get the Apothecary Servant. And even then, the Margwa is still going to kick your ass. That's why it's an S tier. I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
Or Ancient Evil, or Call of the Dead, or Moon, or Garad, or Origins. I wish I had a face cam on right now because
I wish you did too.
Dumbfounded.
I wish you did too.
I can't believe Ascension is an S tier. B-RAD, if you can, let me know down below in the comments why you think that Ascension deserves S tier. And finally, 9. Okay, 9 I don't agree with.
You're going to get a whole list of it in a video up here, Joltz. You're going to get a whole list of it.
Ascension I definitely don't agree with. Horizon Drac, yes. Duris, okay. I wouldn't put it in S tier, but you do you, I guess. And Mob of the Dead obviously belongs in S tier. I can't get over Ascension being an S tier, though. Like, why? Why does it belong in S tier? Please.
I also have to point out, I'm pretty sure I've heard Joltz say he likes BO1, but it's not his favorite game. I grew up on Black Ops 1. I started on World at War, and then I went into Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 1 is the king of the zombie games. Obviously, you got BO3 with Chronicles and all the other maps, and those maps are unique and everything, but as far as like good, fun, high rounds, Black Ops 1 is king. Ascension was that king until Moon came out. And again, I have pointed it out, objectively, I put Ascension in B tier. I put Ascension in B tier objectively. But if you're looking for a good, fun, high round, Ascension. Ascension is the way to go.
If I had to give your tier list a rating from 1 to 10, I would give it a 6. You got some maps belonging in the tier that they belong in. For example, Mob of the Dead, Horizon Drac, Ancient Evil, and Shadows of Evil I would move up, but at least you have them in A tier. Moon is good. Garad's in the right place, so is Alpha Omega. Origins I would move up. And your C tier is perfectly reasonable, but let me get to the bad parts about your tier list real quick. First off, Voyage of Despair and trash. I do not agree with this at all. Same thing with Zetsubo.
I don't care much about Voyage. I'm not going to defend that one as much. I will fight for Ascension and Blood of the Dead. I will not fight for Voyage.
Being in D tier, I think Voyage
I'm not fighting
belongs
for
in
Zetsubo
at least
either.
C tier, and Zetsubo belongs in A tier. At least I would say.
I'm not going to
Dead of
fight
the
for
Night,
them.
Okay, you don't like the map, whatever. I don't think it belongs anywhere near the bottom of any tier list, but I'm not.
Where did I have Dead of the Night? I had, let's see, even in my personal list before, or when I did the change, I had Dead of the Night. Okay, I put Dead of the Night in Lackluster, and this is when I added that extra layer of E, which I wish I had changed to like F to F minus, but I at least moved it up there, and I moved Voyage up a spot. Like I said, it's not painful. Neither one of the maps are painful. They're just not fun to me.
I'm not going to argue that because I know some people hate the million parts that you have to grab. But once you get past that, it's a great map. Like I said, trash tier is good besides Voyage. D tier is fine besides Zetsubo. Your C tier is perfectly fine. But then we get to the B tier. And there are two glaring issues here. First off, let's get the smaller one out of the way first, Origins only being in B tier. I can kind of see why. At least you don't have it in C tier or D tier or trash.
I will never put Origins lower than B. I will not put Origins lower than B. The only reason I don't like Origins, like I said, is because there's 100 different parts you have to get and a lot of other steps that you need to do. And like I said, the stabs are good, but they're not better than the bows. I'm going to say it right now. The stabs are not better than the bows. The bows are better. And the bows, other than the fire bow, are easier to obtain. At least the quest is more fun. Like doing the quest for the storm bow, a hell of a lot more fun than searching around a giant ass map for the parts to the ice staff.
But I think that it deserves at least A tier, if not
That's
S
fair.
tier. Which
That's fair.
I would put in an S tier, but
That's
once
fair.
again, same thing like I said for Dead of the Night. I know some people don't like collecting a whole bunch of parts, and they don't
Yep.
like slimes to be like that. They're like, okay, fair point, whatever.
Make it simple.
But then we have this. Tagged or Toten in B tier. Okay, so I'm going to leak a little bit of the behind the scenes for YouTube. So B-RAD and I were recording a video on his channel for his One Opportunity series. And after we recorded that, we were talking for a little bit, and he mentioned that I should do a part 2 to this tier list. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I took a quick look at his tier list, and I saw this. I saw it Tagged or Toten in B tier. And I told him right then and there that that was a problem. He was like,
Yep.
yeah, okay, I think it's a good
Yep.
map. And I was like, no, no, it's not.
I
This
s-
does
I
not
know.
belong in B tier or
I know you don't
anywhere
like it.
above trash. I'm carrying over the same system from my last video. I'm automatically deducting a point off your rating for having
Wait,
Tagged or Toten.
I only lost 1 point for that? I thought I would have lost 2. What else was... I just said Origins, I could understand that. I thought I would have only lost 2 off of that. I thought that would have been like what took me down to a 6.
in such a high tier. But other than that, your B tier is completely fine, I would say. The A tier is fine. There's a couple things I would bump up to S tier, and one that I would bump down to at least B tier. And your
Okay.
S tier is fine, except for Ascension. Ascension, I do not agree with. I do not understand why Ascension is an S tier. But other than that, like I said, your S tier is
The high rounds are fun, Joltz. The high rounds are fun. The high rounds are fun. The high...
Your A tier is fine. Your B tier is fine, except for Tag and Origins. Your C tier is perfect. And your D tier and your trash tier are okay, except for these two. So, like I said, B-RAD, a 6 out of 10 for your tier list. Thank you so much for sending me your tier list.
I'll take a 6 out of 10. I'm okay with that. Like I said, that list is all over the place. But how did I get a 6 out of 10? Just because I didn't put Origins higher? Like I don't care. I don't care about the 6 out of 10. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I'm not gonna fight tooth and nail to defend what's the 2 maps. I'm not gonna fight tooth and nail for Voyage. I'm not gonna fight tooth and nail for Zetsubo. I'm not gonna fight hard for them. I'm not even gonna fight hard for Tog. I probably did have a lengthier discussion about it in this video than I should have. The only ones I'm gonna fight for Blood, and I'm gonna fight for Ascension. Those are the 2 I'm gonna fight for. But hey, like I said, we can't all have perfect lists. At least I'm not putting Descent as the top 5 map. Yeah, so that's my reaction to that, and yeah, it was pretty fun. Like I said, thank you, Joltz, for ranking my list. I'm hoping that you like doing these lists. I'm glad to see you're back and making reaction videos like this. I'm happy that I could at least provide some content for you. Be sure to check out Joltz's channel. Like I said, I'll have the link in the description and at the end card, all that fun stuff. Like I said, he's a very good, talented content creator. Please go check him out. And like I said, I definitely mean no ill will if I sounded like I was a lot more upset of anything of like certain maps. That's just me clowning around. He knows that I like to mess with him. He'll hopefully take it the right way. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna call it here. Again, thank you, Joltz. Thank you everyone for watching. Let's say if you like this one, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you have anything that you want me to rank to, let me know. I'll review it. I'll see what it's all about. Maybe I got an opinion on it. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it. Again, thank you everyone, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace!